I'm John Feutz from Princeton, Indiana, and I'm a cow-calf beef producer. Predominantly, our farm work's done by my father and myself, and then my wife is involved in the bookkeeping and a little bit of the management, as well as my 5-year-old son, Joseph. We have roughly 30 cows at any given time.
So we are considered a cow-calf operation. So that means that we keep our adult cows for most of their lives, and their job for us is to get pregnant and have a baby once a year. Someone else will buy the 6 to 8 month old calves and raise them up for beef and sell them later on.
Cattle aren't the only animals the Feutz family cares for. Marybeth, John, and John's father Jim are also all veterinarians.
I've had days where I've worked on over 12 species of animals in one day.
I am a veterinarian by training. I'm actually acting as our office manager, so I manage all our finances. I also run a website called My Fearless Kitchen. It's where I talk about lots of different food, lots of recipes.
When it comes to work on the farm, the whole family gets involved.
So Joseph's our son. He's 5. He has been raised on the farm. He wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, one job I have, it's helping Daddy cut hay and helping Daddy bale hay. First we get all the equipment ready, then we cut hay, then we rake hay, then we bale hay. And once we're done baling, we let the grass grow more.
Beef cattle live outside in a pasture all year long. Their diet is mostly made up of grass and hay, although the calves require some additional nutrition to help them grow.
Cows are made to digest things that we wouldn't be able to digest, specifically grass. So our calves, obviously when they're first born, they're just nursing milk off of their mom. And we provide for our calves what we would call a creep feed, which is a corn and soybean based meal. We actually use soybean meal as a protein source and corn as an energy source. That does 2 things. It helps those calves grow faster, and it also helps the mamas not to have as much stress on them for providing all of the nutrients for the calf.
Technology also plays a vital role on both the Feutz farm and in the vet practice.
On my purebred cows, we start to know how mixing certain cows with certain bulls will actually produce better calves, and all of that is done through kind of computer-generated things called EPDs, which is basically a statistical analysis of what a cow would produce and a bull would produce when used for breeding. And then on my day-to-day cattle farm, I use my cell phone all the time. Different cloud-based storage apps where I can write down notes about my cows. In the veterinary office, technology is always changing in our field. My ultrasound now will actually hook to my cell phone. We can do in-house on blood work, so we can actually run all of that right in our clinic.
Hey, come on, come on.
The Feutz family keeps a close eye on all of their cattle to make sure they are healthy.
So starting from May all the way through the end of August is very busy for us with hay. And then during that same time, we're also working the cows. So we're giving everybody their annual vaccines. We're getting fly tags in all the cows' ears to help with the insect control. We're checking to make sure that the calves are healthy. One of the most important pieces of equipment on our farm is our cattle chute. It's a great way to safely restrain the cows. Once they're in the chute, we've got a few different places where we can access the cows. We can do any kind of exam or health check while they're there. And when we're all done, we just flick a switch up at the top, the front doors open, and out they go, like it never even happened.
Just like all cattle farmers, animal health is the #1 priority for the Feutz family. They work hard to prevent disease on their farm and move quickly to treat illnesses in the rare occasions they occur.
I can't remember the last time I actually gave an antibiotic to any of my animals because we do a good job trying to prevent the disease. Now, if we would have a disease, just like you would want to do for your children, we would give them on an individual basis an antibiotic if that's what's warranted to take care of it, because we certainly don't want them to suffer. But we are diligent with withdrawal times, and what a withdrawal time is the amount of time that's been scientifically studied that it takes for anything you would use to be completely removed from the animal's body.
All of your meat, milk, and eggs in the grocery store is always antibiotic free, whether that animal was treated with antibiotics at any point during its life or not. There are occasionally hormones that we might use in beef or in dairy cattle. It's becoming less and less all the time.
Just like the antibiotics, the hormones have a withdrawal time. It's actually illegal to use hormones in poultry, and we don't use hormones in swine production either.
The passion the Feutz family has for animals and feeding their community is evident in the work they do.
When I grow up, I want to be a farmer and a veterinarian.
I really enjoy just being around cows. You get attached to those animals, get bonded to them. I mean, I can look out in my herd of black cows and I can identify almost every one of them from a distance.
That's one of our passions, is raising healthy animals so that we can contribute to a safe and healthy food supply, not just for our family, but for our community, for the whole state of Indiana.